Welcome to Healed and Healing. I'm your host, Maria Roney, intuitive healing guide and teacher, and I have created this podcast for you, you amazing, brave human willing to heal and rediscover your authentic self so that you can be free from past pain, trauma, heartbreak, and conditioning so that you can experience true freedom in a joy-filled, abundant life. My own journey taught me that when we choose to heal from the past, we find our confidence, self-trust, intuition, and so much more. And then we embody who we are at soul level, so we are free to shine our light unapologetically and have the freedom and joy beyond our wildest dreams. So come along on this unique, non-traditional path of healing and self-discovery that is both mystical and grounded in the reality of our human experience. And I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, so can you. So let's begin. Hello, beautiful soul. Today, I really want to share a truth, and there are many truths about the spiritual journey, and this is just a simple one. Your spiritual journey is whatever makes you a better human. Now, and that is that the spiritual journey and the human journey are one and the same. We as souls are choosing to have this human experience. And so when we when we start to realize that we're more than just this human walking around in this 3D world, and we realize that there's so much more, and we start to heal our trauma and get really curious about the mystery of the human life, then that's what we call, we start expanding our consciousness, and we might call it the spiritual journey or growth or whatever we want to call it. And when I say that it is the spiritual journey is whatever makes you a better human, and the word better is very subjective, and I'll get to that. Firstly, what is not the spiritual journey? Or some traps that we can get into, me included, like when we're on this path of the spiritual journey or expanding our consciousness. So one that I've observed is that the spiritual journey can actually be a form of escapism. And you might have heard this term before, spiritual bypassing. And that is when it feels so good to move beyond our trauma to learning more about the world and going on amazing meditations and spiritual journeys that we actually don't deal with. We don't go deep. So that when we avoid going deep on the spiritual journey, it's actually a form of escapism, like taking drugs. So, and we see that, can see that over and over, that, and it may not be you, or it might be someone you know, or someone or what you've noticed about some spiritual journeys is that it's like just avoiding all of the stuff. Avoiding the trauma, and you know what happens then? It stays in the body, and so it's like an addiction. The spiritual, and that's when we see things like chasing healing, doing all the retreats and going to reading all of the books and listening to all of the podcasts about spirituality, but not actually doing any of the work of the human work. And that's that is on the spiritual journey, it is like absolutely like part of the course is to go deep within and ride those waves of this human experience. It's certainly not about escaping it. And it happens too when like I've seen this myself, like in some really beautiful souls, and they are deeply committed to their gifts and their spiritual journey, and they will like go into meditations and they will go on these amazing journeys on like into other dimensions and have these amazing experiences and connecting with beings from other worlds, and that is all like really beautiful, and it is all very exploratory. And while we're like going off and having all these amazing experiences outside of our body, we're actually not being grounded in the here and now. And so the spiritual journey isn't about flying off somewhere else. It's actually about bringing all of us, all parts of ourselves, into the here and now in a super grounded way. It's about bringing our higher soul and bringing our higher self to experience all of this journey. So the spiritual journey is not about ego or the expansion of ego or power. If you think you're special because you're on a spiritual journey or have tapped into your soul gifts or intuition, you're missing the point. If your self-esteem is rooted in the spiritual journey and how far you've come or how conscious you are, it's actually when the spiritual journey gets mixed up with the ego. So it's actually ego expansion. So we are, what if I just get into like the opposite of that, which is the authentic spiritual journey, is getting to know who you are, like deeply, authentically, and practicing that in the world. It's about being so committed to your journey and being the absolute best version of yourself, that you embody love, that you embody your own authentic flavor, your own unique essence of how you show up in the world. And so whatever makes you a better human on your spiritual journey is uniquely you. And so that might show up as less judgment towards yourself and others, being more accepting, having like peace and exuding peace and calm instead of drama. And the spiritual journey is really about accepting all parts of yourself, all of the parts, and everything that's happened on this human journey until now, and riding the waves, because we do hard things. Like, there are so many challenges in this lifetime. And so when we can show up as our authentic selves on this journey and we have like this sense of peace, that's when we're starting to have evidence that being on the spiritual journey and the growth journey, that's where it shows up in our day-to-day life and how we treat other people and how we treat ourselves, and what are the stories that go around our mind. So, what is the spiritual journey to you? How is the spiritual journey making you a better human, making you feel more peace and joy and love in your life? How are you being reminded to respect and honor yourself, body, mind, and soul? And on your spiritual journey, do you recognize that we are all here to learn from each other as individuals, and then that we're in the oneness on this one planet, right? All of us are one on here, including every single aspect of planet Earth, all of the trees and animals. And how do we start to, once we have that love and respect for ourselves, have that same love and respect and acceptance for everyone around us, starting with our family and friends, our community, and expanding further? Because when we can respect and accept ourselves, we can respect and accept others on their journey, wherever they are on their journey, without judgment, with peace. And so, please share. How has being on a spiritual journey shifted you and made you a better human? How is your human journey going? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about really being here and being present. As a soul, you came here to have this human experience and not escape it and not grow the ego, but to learn how to be more love. So I would love to hear from you what resonates. How has the humanness of your spiritual journey shown up? And please let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you. If you want to dive even deeper into your spiritual journey, please reach out to me. I would love to tell you about my upcoming programs and one-on-one packages, because we're all in this together. And if you really resonate with my approach, that is non-traditional, grounded in the reality of our human experience, while mystical and magical, and you're really curious about this great mystery we call life, then I would love to hear from you. Message me, email me, and I look forward to hearing from you. So with lots of love from my heart to yours, I will see you next time on Healed and Healing. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Healed and Healing podcast. And thank you for being on your own healing journey, because the more of us who choose to heal, the more that we shine our light to this whole world. And your support means so much to me, and means, being on your own healing journey just means so much to you. I'm proud of you. And what we do together on this healing journey is so good for everyone around us as well. Never underestimate that. So please subscribe, give me a review, give me some stars, and I just can't wait to see you on our very next episode in this beautiful community. Lots of love.